Well, there's breaking news coming in at this hour from Bangladesh. Important to understand that the results of the Bangladesh election are now out. Important to understand that the BNP, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, is set to form the government in Bangladesh. Now, Tarique Rahman's BNP has in fact even claimed victory on social media platform X. Now, the BNP has said that it will form the next government in Bangladesh. Remember that these were crucial elections that took place in Bangladesh. The voting took place yesterday and the results are now out. Even in the early trends, we could see the Bangladesh Nationalist Party leading, with the Jamaat-e-Islami, of course, facing a setback. Amid this, of course, the Jamaat-e-Islami chief has also said that he will, of course, accept any outcome that comes for his party, be it win or loss. In the latest that we're tracking at this hour coming in from Bangladesh, the BNP is set to form the government in Bangladesh. Remember that this will be a crucial government. Before this, there was the interim government of course, Mohammad Yunus, who was the chief advisor to the interim government. Now, there will be, of course, a new era in which we will see the Bangladesh Nationalist Party form the government, with Tarique Rahman is expected to, of course, swear in as the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. This is the BNP's victory. The BNP is, in fact, even taken to social media platform X to claim the victory in the Bangladesh, of course, the polls that took place in Bangladesh. Well, on this, my colleague Saurabh Gupta joining us on the broadcast. Saurabh, important information that we're tracking from Bangladesh. Unofficial results and now even official trends show that the Bangladesh Nationalist Party has had a clear win. Walk us through the details. What does the arithmetic look like when it comes to the election?
Well, landslide victory for the BNP, and that is something that obviously was, expected that the BNP would win. But it was expected to be a much closer fight. Now, at this point, it seems the BNP, of course, is well on its way to form government. Official declaration of results are still awaited in several seats, but it's quite clear that the BNP is the front runner, and it is, of course, going to form the government. In terms of results, in terms of the seats that have already been declared, several strong contenders from the BNP have won. Tarique Rahman has won. Of course, he is now the Prime Minister designate after his party wins. But of course, those election results will have to be notified. What we're being given to understand that government formation will take place by early next week, or it could even happen sooner than that. And obviously, this is going to be a new beginning for Bangladesh. Bangladesh has been in turmoil since the ouster of the Sheikh Hasina government after violent protests that rocked Bangladesh in 2024, led mostly by students, but of course backed by political forces as well. And that's something that has now, had led to a vacuum, a political vacuum, with an interim government taking charge. Now Bangladesh has a democratically elected government that, of course, will take charge. And, of course, Shafiqul Alam, the press secretary to the interim government's chief advisor, Mohammad Yunus, had told NDTV in an interview that if things go well, within the next 5 days, there will be a government installed in Bangladesh that would have a democratically elected backing and a political mandate through an election. And Tarique Rahman, who returned from the UK after 17 years in political exile, on Christmas Day, is now going to become the Prime Minister of Bangladesh.
Well, sorry, because you're in Bangladesh, I also wish to understand, because, as late as yesterday also, we were hearing reports of there being unrest in Bangladesh. How exactly is the law and order situation panning out in the region?
Well, I mean, there have been some sporadic incidents during polling, but post-polling, there hasn't been any reported incident yet. We're still on the lookout if anything has happened. But to put it into perspective, the BNP has decided that there'll be no victory processions. That's also in an effort to ensure that not only do they want, to start off a new political culture, but they say that that would give ground for, situations to arise where there may be law and order issues. So no political processions. Remember, today is Friday, so it's a day of prayers in Bangladesh. And after the Friday prayers, there'll also be a special prayer for this victory, is what the BNP has announced. But obviously, no victory processions. And that's something that also is telling, because remember, in the last few months, there have been law and order issues, but the BNP wants to put a lid on that as it takes charge of Bangladesh, as it says that it wants to build a new Bangladesh. And that's something that obviously we will see in the days to come. But of course, there are fears that there could be some law and order incidents. Usually that happens in post-poll scenarios, which is why there is also a huge, sort of alert within the law enforcement in Bangladesh to ensure that if those incidents do happen, then they are contained in time, and prevention, of course, remains the top priority for law and order incidents. But yes, this seems to be an election that was fought under the shadow and fear that there would be violence, but
absolutely
seems to have largely been avoided.
Sorry to interrupt you, but talking specifically about Tarique Rahman, we know that he's set to become the new Prime Minister of Bangladesh, and it's evident that people also like him in the region, which is why, of course, his party has got a landslide victory. How exactly would you describe the leader?
Well, the leaders of the BNP are very clear that, they want to sort of, try and write a new political language in Bangladesh. Now, what we're being given to understand is that there will be efforts to sort of ensure that everyone is part of building this new government, that they will try and make it as inclusive as possible. Tarique Rahman has already said that his priority, and even during the voting process yesterday, he said his priority remains safety, security of everyone, an inclusive Bangladesh where everyone has, the freedom to practice the religion they want. Also a lot of other things like, the whole, Shobar Age Bangladesh paradigm which he's created, which is, of course, enunciating his foreign policy where he wants to maintain equidistance from Pakistan and India, but with mutual respect, build relations with countries. So that's largely going to be how the BNP government is going to look like.